What's up, guys? Brett Okamoto from ESPN, joined by UFC bantamweight Henry Cejudo, who joins us. I think it's a good time to catch up with Henry because it's been about a month since UFC 288. We just saw UFC 289. The August title fight is quickly approaching. It'll be August before we know it. And, obviously, Henry, things didn't go exactly the way you wanted at UFC 288. And then you took a little bit of time and you came out. I'm not retiring. I want to fight in August, all of this. So I want to get a lot of updates from you. To start off, though, how's the month been? How's life? Where are you at sort of a month out from the title fight against Aljo?
It's been good, man. It's been good. I mean, I hate the feeling of losing. And obviously I'm not mad because of the loss. Obviously that does come with it. I'm more upset because of maybe some of the things that I could have done different. Just adjusting technically, tactically, the cut right before the fight. Certain things like that just change little things that could have made the difference. Yeah, it was a split decision. Um, I still don't know how Derek Cleary uh, uh, gave Aljo that fifth round, but man, I can cry you a river. But at the end of the day, I don't feel like a winner. And when it's a close fight like that, like it's hard for when you have a close fight in anywhere, it's hard for everybody to say that or anybody to say that I won, you know, unless it's super decisive. So if that's what it is, and that's what it is, man, I take the L. I learn from the mistakes, and yeah, man, I've always, even after my fight, I says, I I either I either want to be the best or I want none of it, you know. So
Mhm.
those were kind of the feelings that were kind of running through my emotions at the time. But then I know just waking up the next day, I'm just like, nah, man, I'm not gonna go out like this. So even on Sunday, that Sunday morning, I was like, no, I want Merab. I want Merab. I think it's a good storyline. I think him being Aljo's best friend. I think it makes sense. It's the soonest I can get to the title, and so that's kind of what's running through my emotions now. Like I don't like the feeling, Brett. I don't like the feeling of second place. I don't like the feeling of somebody, ahead of me. I don't like it, and the motivation is different. The motivation it's a chase now. It's a chase to see who gets there first.
So I want to talk about Marab, but do you think that 15 years from now, 20 years from now, like you'd be sitting at the breakfast table with a cup of coffee and just be like, how did Derek Cleary give that fifth round to Aljamain Sterling? Like, do you think that that is something that will literally stick with you forever?
No, no, I mean, not really, not really. He stiffed it before with Benavidez. If you don't remember watching that fight, it was 2016, so it was about 5 years ago. It was that one was a little bit like, man, what? How did I lose every one? How did I lose every round? I mean, I get the ball, I get when I hit him in the balls, but I don't know, man. I feel like that dude has something against me. But again, that was a close fight. But that was like not even that one was a lot closer than what we had with Aljamain. And no, not really, man. I'll move on. I think this is part of the storyline. I think this will make my story that much greater. And that's the angle that I'm looking at. That I'm looking at it now.
Mhm.
Aljo is a competitor, and a lot of situations where I probably relaxed, where I should have maybe not relaxed, is where he caught me in. But I'm gonna be able to make those adjustments.
Yeah. I get it, but I also kind of don't. Like I get I mean, this is what has made you a great successful athlete is that you don't be in second place doesn't sit well, So I wouldn't expect you to feel anything but, anger and wanting to get back at it. But it's also like you spent the last 3 years talking about like how you've done everything, and that you needed something special to really get you motivated. So I do I kind of like try to make sense of that in my head of like a split decision loss to him like after 3 years off for a belt that you've already held. Like I guess I am a little surprised by just how much you want that 135-pound belt back. Like that it means so much to you after you've already held it. Like can you try and help me understand that?
Yeah, it is. It's really not so. It's a competition at the end of the day. It's a competition to see who is the best in the world. Like the belt is just the symbol. You know, But the symbol is what matters. You know what I'm saying? Like the belt, I'd sell that damn thing if somebody offered me the right money. It's more of you really, saying you're the best and being the best, and knowing that the rest knows that you're the best. That's what it is. It's like it's not even about Aljamain really. It's just about me getting back to the top. When I tell people all the time, when DJ beat me and he knocked me out, it wasn't about the belt. It was about the guy that was the most sophisticated mixed martial artist in history that could put it together like nobody else. Nor GSP nor Jones could kind of mix it like Demetrius Johnson, as good as they are. Yeah, have, they may have lost a little less, but nobody in the history of the world has mixed it like DJ. And I think when I fought him, it was different. It was about Demetrius, But this time around, it's just like, man, I'm getting my symbol back of being the best, the best competitor and the best fighter in the world. So that's more what I'm after. Whether Sean beats him or Aljamain wins, I would want Aljamain, but if not, it's not the end of the world. I've lost to people that I've never wrestled again, things like that. So I'm good. I'm good on that aspect.
Mhm. How do you feel today about your decision to walk away in 2020? Has it changed at all?
No, it was the best thing that I could have ever done. The best thing I could have ever done, man. I really do. Those last 3 years were the best 3 years of my life. I learned a lot about me. I've been able to really, help others, which is something that I never really did. I was always a selfish human, as I should have to chasing my dream, and be able to help some of the best fighters in the world. Obviously, I had my baby America, who's about to have a little brother too, little Enzo Carlos Cejudo, who's coming soon, October 25th. Um, it's been good, Brett. Learning business, like I'm not just a fighter, man. I'm just a winner, and I love to win. I love to try new things. I'm a conqueror, and it does. You want other things to conquer, and I've been able to, to be successful in these other areas. So it's been the best thing ever. I'm not one of these. I'm just not one of these guys that can't let it go. I can let it go at any day and be okay. You know.
Mhm.
So no, not really, Brett. To answer that question is no. I wouldn't. I don't take anything back.
Yeah.
I think it's been good because if not, I don't think I would have ever. I just don't think I would ever came back. Honestly.
Yeah, you needed a break. It seemed like you really did need that break in order to now continue. And let's talk about how you're going to continue. Where are things at? Like you called out Merab. He's had hand surgery. You also said you wanted to fight on August 15th or August 19th. August
Yeah.
19th, but it's the 15-year anniversary of you winning the Olympics, which I thought was very, very cool. Where are you at in terms of what's next?
No, I'm gonna wait for Merab. I think Merab being the number one contender. I mean, whenever he's ready at this, when you're the champ, you have leverage to be able to call your days, say, hey, I'm not ready for this. Hey, I'm not ready for that. But when when you don't have that leverage, you don't pick and choose. You just gotta go with the flow. So in this scenario, I gotta wait for Merab. I gotta wait for him to heal up that right hand because I think that's the closest. That's the closest that I could. That's my fastest return to the title shot. And whether Sean wins or Aljamain, whether Aljamain relinquishes the belt, I don't know what his plans are. Who knows? Maybe it could be Merab fighting for the undisputed title. You know.
What have your conversations been like with? Because you have a good relationship with, especially Hunter and Dana. You have a direct line of communication with them. Like, you do you tell them about kind of? I know that you asked to step in and fight Sean if Aldo was not going to be available, but beyond that, do you get like any guarantees or any thoughts of that, like where they're at in terms of they agree with you?
No, not really, because I'm not sure if is Sandhagen and Umar, are they fighting?
Potentially, it's nothing's official yet, but yeah, Sandhagen would be the other name to kind of be floating
Yeah.
in this conversation.
Yeah, I mean, but Sandhagen's already. It depends, but it depends if Sandhagen. See, there's a lot of things that happen, but no, I do believe me fighting for this title. I mean, beating number one contender just puts me in the position where, hey, a split decision loss. I think that's what kind of goes, that kind of goes with me, with the whole scenario and the situation. But yeah, it's a tough one, because Umar still needs to fight like more fights, man, before he's really granted that before he gets the red carpet. Like that's the way I see it, man. Like everybody's been through the trenches, and nobody's been wanting to fight him though. In all fairness, and I personally think he will beat Sanhagen.
Mhm.
But will he get it? It's like, no, I got to make a statement, and Dana knows what I'm about. That he knows I'm a marketing machine, and I think I'm the right candidate when I win this fight.
Um, I thought that maybe after the result went the way it did, that because your goal was always to be the 3 division champion, right? Something that's never been done before. And I kind of thought to myself, like, well, you're free to do so now, Henry. Like, the UFC was interested in you coming back. Okay, you're coming back. We want you to fight a 135. That's what you left on top. Let's settle that conversation of who's the best 135er. Didn't go your way, but now it's just like now you're free to make any move you want. I thought maybe you'd book a big fight at 145 and go chase that 3rd title. Did you give any thought to that?
No, I didn't until I saw that post on ESPN that you mentioned. Then I'm like, huh, maybe he's right. Because the reason why I did come back to 35 was for that reason. Go through a couple matches, win those, and then go up and fight Volk if Volk still had it.
Mhm.
But dude, I wouldn't be opposed to that. Like if they're gonna just sideline me or whatever, like there's after the fight after Merab, like or if nothing takes place, like dude, I'd be willing to challenge Holloway. As shitty as I looked against Aljamain, I know I know when the stakes are high, dude, that's when I can really compete. And like I said, bro, like there's a lot of things that getting those 5 rounds under my belt has uh has built that callus for me to be able to
Mhm.
take another good fight and be ready.
Mhm.
I'm not opposed to that, man. If you watch my fight with Dominic right before I retired to Aljamain, there's a different bounce to me,
Mhm.
and that's what comes with a bit of a layoff. But anyhow, I'm not opposed to it, man. I'm not opposed to that fight with Holloway, nor am I opposed to Brandon Moreno if the UFC wants to show us the money after this fight. If he does beat Pantoja, that we do a showdown between me and him. I'm
All
not,
the way
man.
back down to 125, huh? You do that?
No, no, no. Bring him up, and then who knows? Who knows? If the UFC is willing to offer me a bunch of money to go down to 125, I'll do it. But that's not my plan. But if Brandon wants to smoke, and I know what I used to do to him in sparring, if he wants to smoke, if he gets past Pantoja, which I know he won't, I'll be willing to do that fight too. A good old Mexican showdown, and trust me, man. I want a piece of him. I called him out the first time. I
Mhm.
wanted to fight him after he went over with Joseph Benavidez and trained with them and didn't tell me, and I had to find out through social media. You
Mhm.
know, I called him out. He says, Henry, te quiero mucho. He said, Henry, I like you too much, man. I got too much love for you to fight you. I left it at that. We no longer became friends. And there's bad blood there. There's a great storyline. Obviously he's the baby face. He's the baby face of the UFC. I'm the heel. Show me the money. Let's make it happen, baby.
When you say that there was a different bounce when you fought Cruz to when you fought Sterling, I would agree with you. you But some of that is attributed to a 3-year layoff for sure. How much of that is attributed to age as well? Like in terms of just your age and your athletic, a career, how much longer you got, do you feel like?
No, no, no. I have. Who knows? Who knows? Like when the mind, like my body's good, Brett. When my mind is just like fed up, like I can retire tomorrow. I could never fight again and be okay.
Mhm.
It's all about the mind. My body could go for the next 10 years. Honestly, I've taken care of my body. I stretch every day. Yeah, I got fat and I get big, but I've never had any injuries, man. Like any serious, my knees have always been good. Besides my ripping my shoulder in that Marlon Moraes fight, that was just an exhaustion of the ligaments that they eventually went for punching so damn much. Um, but man, other than that, I got to get 10 years if I wanted to. Do I want to do 10 years? I don't think so. But like I'm here to have it all, or I don't want any part of it.
Yeah.
And I mean that. So it's a mission. It's a mission to recapture what I had, and then the goal doesn't change. The goal does not change. But there are some fun matchups. There are some fun matchups, and I think I bring a lot of value to these lighter weight divisions. I feel like I did bring a lot of noise to them, and I'm just a perfect candidate to come back and become champ once again.
Going back to this 145 thing, real quick. I just to me, and I wrote it in that post that you saw. That's what you wanted anyway. Like, and if you were to reclaim 135, like, yes, it would be amazing that you would do it, and I know that it would satisfy something in you to a really high level. But you were coming back to kind of go for 145 anyway, you know. And when I put that out there, people are like, "Oh my God, Brett, you know, you're being crazy." Let me, and I understand the 145ers are bigger than the 135ers. I understand that. But they're saying like it would look ridiculous, you know. So like that's always kind of been the thing where like if you were to fight Max, people are like, "Oh, it would look ridiculous." Sean O'Malley, which you would have fought had you beat Aljo, is 5'11", 72-inch reach. That's what UFC stat says. Max Holloway is 5'11" with a 69-inch reach. Brian Ortega is 5'8" with a 69-inch reach. Like, it would not look as comical, I think, as like what people are saying. And even if it did, who cares? Like that's kind of the appeal, right? This guy is going up 2 weight classes. Something's never been done in the UFC. Like, not only do you say you'd be open to that, I'm kind of surprised, Henry, that you're not just pushing for it. Like, why not make that your new goal? And I'm not trying to advise you here. I'm just trying to understand, like, why not just make that your new goal?
Yeah, I guess I could, Brett. I guess I could, but like I said, like I'm open to that, and I've always told that to. I had a meeting with Hunter and Sean Shelby at the table. I'm like, so Henry, so what's your plan? I said, my plan is to fight for the 145-pound title. Like that's what I want to do. Man. Like that's the goal overall. But I think at this point, I just feel like I need leverage. You know, I look like I know my potential. Even though it was a split decision loss, I know at my worst that I know once I get this pop kind of going that these dudes are still in trouble. But right now I feel like I need leverage, you know. And I campaigned to freaking the fat lady saying at for 145 pounds. And there was a time where they could have given it to me. That's more of a question for the UFC and Dana White and Hunter Campbell. Like that's more of a question for them because I'd be up for it, man. I would love to do something that nobody's ever done. But I think the only guy that I would want to do that with, a dance partner, it would be Holloway. Because I want the biggest, baddest dude that there's a lot of footage on that I feel like he's added more kicks though now too, which has really changed Holloway his last fight. But I don't know if that's because Allen was southpaw, but a Holloway with kicks is a lot more dangerous than a Holloway that just likes to punch.
Mhm.
You know, so he did look different. I will say that.
Looking at this, well, actually, you and Sean O'Malley don't live that far away from one another. And when I see, you know, he's had some good lines on you. You've had some good lines on him. And I don't know if that's just because you both are smart and you know that you could sell a fight down the road, or if there is just a little bit of, you know,
Yeah.
that you guys, you maybe just a kind of oil and water situation. You don't mix. Like, do you feel like there is something kind of potentially cooking between you and O'Malley still, even though it's not the next fight?
You know, I'm just a competitor. I think Sean takes things personally. Like to me, I'm having fun, but I know personally through a lot of people that he's an emotional creature, and but he's also a good kid. Like you know what I'm saying. Like a lot of what he does, he's just a persona, and I think he's just goofy, and I could just tell from the first time that when we had the interview going on, I interrupted him. Like I could tell, like him stuttering. Like that was somebody else, like if you really like, hey, what? Like he was just like kind of lost in words. I feel like that's the real him. But regardless, I mean, there's no bad blood against him. But if we do fight, then it is personal, because I did want that fight because he is one of the privileged ones, and I did want to smoke him and make money off of him. But who knows, man? He beats Aljamain. I beat Merab. I think it's a great fight, and I think we can bring that fight to Arizona.
Well, last question I'll ask you, and I know that you've said already, sort of on your own channels and everything else, that you expect Aljo to beat Sean. What percent chance would you give Sean O'Malley right now?
You know what? If Sean O'Malley, and this is the thing, and I'm gonna be straight honest with you. I'm gonna do the same thing with Merab because they both have the same style. You got to keep that fight in the center. If you're able to keep that fight in the center, because in reality, man, Aljamain, he doesn't hit, nor does he kick hard. But if you're able to just keep it in the center, you either wait for him or you press him. That's the way to beat him. But I just don't know if I just don't know if Sean O'Malley has that ability to keep it in the center and just keep it there because he did take me down, but all his takedowns were all off the cage, all of me going backwards. And if you can take me down, I'm a harder to take down. If you can take me down, you can take anybody in the world down. So the advice that I have for Sean O'Malley, keep it in the center. You know what I mean? And that's all you have to do. Master the distance, keep it in the center, and that's it. Angle off, man. But if you start going back and you start, allowing him to press you back, he's going to use that cage, lock his hands, and he's going to go down. And I think that's the way. Will he finish him? I don't know. I don't know if he will finish him, but he will do that for 5 rounds. And like I said, Brett, I take the L. I take it in the chin. I'm disappointed in myself, but I'm going to come back. So whether it's Sean or O'Malley, either one of those dudes are going to get it.
Well, give me a number, though. Give me a number. Sean O'Malley has this % chance of beating Aljamain Sterling on August 19th.
Sean O'Malley has about a it's like he's like a fat-free milk. He has a 2% chance.
2%. I think fat-free and 2% are actually different things, but 2% is actually pretty fatty in the milk world, I believe. But it's always good talking to you, bro, and nice to see you're doing well. Looking forward to whatever's next. Hopefully in the fall, I would imagine. Yeah, that's
yeah. Tell Merab, get ready. He's next, man. I'm gonna use Merab as as my stepping stone to get to my title back. So I know what he's going to do. He's going to come and press. He's going to come and wrestle. Same thing with Aljo. They come to press you, get you against the cage, and that's where they have success. Other than that, if you're able to keep in the center, you're good. And those are the things that I'm going to do. And Sean O'Malley should do it too.
All right. Thank you for the time, man. We'll talk to you again soon. Keep us posted on what's next.
Later, Brett.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.